Have you ever noticed how the mind never really goes silent? And tell me this, have you ever felt like you disappeared inside your own thoughts? As if you were no longer the one thinking, but the one being consumed? Most of us pass through this place, the quiet suffering, the endless loops, mistakes replayed like rituals, futures imagined only in their darkest form, always chasing a feeling we can't name, always falling short of something undefined. I know this place. I lived there, late 2022. Everything felt wrong. My thoughts ran faster than my life, and no amount of noise could quiet them. Then, almost accidentally, I watched a film. The boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. And something shifted, not because it gave answers, but because it questioned the right things. I realized something unsettling. My thoughts were loud, but not wise. And what I was searching for was never something to find. So let me ask you this. What if the problem was never your mind, but the weight you gave it? Our story begins with a boy. A boy, lost in a winter landscape, searching for home. That's how the story begins. Simple, right? But here's the thing, this isn't really a story about a boy finding his way home. It's about what happens when you realize you've been searching for the wrong thing all along. The boy meets three companions on his journey, a mole, a fox, a horse. And at first glance, they seem like random characters in a children's fable, but they're not random, not even close, because each of them represents something we carry inside us. Think about it. The boy is you when you're lost, when you're asking questions but getting no answers, when you feel small and uncertain. He's the part of you that's still searching, still hoping there's a place where everything makes sense. At one point, the mole asks him,
"What do you want to be when you grow up?"
And the boy's answer? One word.
Kind.
Not successful, not rich, not famous, just kind. And that answer? It tells you everything about who this boy really is. He's not looking for power, he's looking for peace. Now, the mole, small, obsessed with cake, always cheerful. And at first, he seems like comic relief. But watch closely. The mole is the part of you that needs love, the part that's constantly seeking warmth, connection, comfort. He's your inner child in a way. And here's what's interesting. The mole admits something early on.
"I am so small."
And the boy replies,
Yes, but you make a huge difference.
Listen to that exchange again, because that's the entire paradox of anxiety, isn't it? We feel small, insignificant, like nothing we do matters. But the truth? The truth is the opposite. And the mole teaches us something else too. At one point he says, "I've discovered something better than cake." The boy is shocked. "No, you haven't." "I have. A hug. It lasts longer." Simple line, but devastating in its honesty. Because cake is instant gratification. A hug is connection. And most of us are still chasing cake, thinking it'll fill the void, but it doesn't last, does it? Then there's the fox, silent, guarded, broken. When we first meet him, he's hunting the boy and the mole. He's dangerous, a threat, but then he gets caught in a trap. And here's where the story takes a turn. The mole, despite being terrified, despite knowing the fox wanted to kill him, rescues him. Why? Because the mole makes a choice. He says,
"One of our greatest freedoms is how we react to things."
and that line, that's everything. We have a choice to be kind, because kindness isn't a feeling. It's not something you do when it's easy. Kindness is a decision, especially when you're scared, especially when the other person doesn't deserve it. And the fox? He doesn't speak much after that. He follows them, from a distance, slowly learning to trust again. Later, when the mole falls into the river and is swept away, the fox saves him. He could have let him drown. He could have walked away, but he didn't. And that moment, that's when the fox stops being a threat and becomes part of the family. See, the fox represents the part of you that's been hurt, the part that doesn't trust easily, the part that stays quiet because speaking feels too risky. But here's the thing, the horse says something beautiful about the fox.
The fox never really speaks.
No. And it's lovely he's with us.
You don't have to perform to belong. You don't have to prove your worth with words. Your presence is enough. And then the horse, the largest, the wisest, the most gentle. The horse is the part of you that knows, the part that sees through the noise, the part that's been through storms and survived. And the horse says the most important line in the entire film. The boy asks,
What's the bravest thing you've ever said?
Help. Asking for help isn't giving up. It's refusing to give up.
Let that sit with you for a second, because we spend our entire lives thinking strength means doing it alone, that vulnerability is weakness, that asking for help is admitting defeat, but the horse flips it. The bravest thing you can say? Help. Not, I'm fine. Not, I can handle it. Help. And here's another line from the horse that destroys me every time. When have you been at your strongest? When I have dared to show my weakness. Your strength isn't in pretending everything's fine. Your strength is in admitting when it's not. The horse also says,
Ah, now, tears fall for a reason, and they're your strength, not weakness.
And later,
when the big things feel out of control, focus on what you love right under your nose. This storm will pass.
not tomorrow's problems, not yesterday's mistakes, what's right here, right now, the people sitting next to you, the small moments you overlook. That's where peace lives. Now let's talk about what this film is actually saying, because on the surface, it's a story about a boy looking for home, but by the end, he realizes something.
Home isn't always a place, is it?
Home isn't always a place, is it? And that line, that's the entire thesis. We spend our whole lives searching for a place where we'll finally feel safe, where we'll finally feel enough. A job, a relationship, a city, a goal. We think, if I just get there, I'll be okay. But here's what the film is trying to tell you. Home was never a destination. It's a state. It's the feeling you get when you're with people who see you, who accept you, who don't need you to be anything other than what you are. The boy finds home when he stops searching for it, when he realizes it's been right there all along, in the mole's kindness, in the fox's silent presence, in the horse's wisdom, and maybe, just maybe, that's what you're searching for too. Not a place, not an answer, just belonging. Here's something most people miss. Charlie Mackesy, the creator, said this: all four characters represent different parts of the same person. The boy, the mole, the fox, the horse. They're not separate beings. They're you. The boy is your questioning self, the part that's lost and searching. The mole is your need for love and connection, the part that's small but refuses to give up. The fox is your wounded self, the part that's been hurt and learned to protect itself. The horse is your wise self, the part that already knows the answers but gets drowned out by the noise. And the journey? The journey is about integrating these parts, about letting the boy ask questions, about letting the mole crave connection, about letting the fox heal at its own pace, about listening to the horse when it speaks. Because when you silence one part, you lose balance. When you ignore your wounds, they grow louder. When you suppress your need for love, you chase substitutes. When you stop listening to wisdom, you spiral. This film is asking you, which voice have you been ignoring? So let's bring this back to earth. You're watching this video because something resonated. Maybe you overthink, maybe you feel lost, maybe you're tired of searching for something you can't name. And here's what I want you to understand. The boy never finds the village. He sees the lights in the distance, but he doesn't go, because he realizes something. The village was never the point. The journey was. The companions were. The lessons were. And you're doing the same thing. You're chasing a future where everything's figured out, where you finally have it all together, where your mind finally shuts up. But what if that moment never comes? What if the point was never to arrive, but to notice who's walking beside you right now? The mole asks the horse, "What keeps you going?" And the horse says, "I suppose I just keep going." Not because there's a grand answer, not because everything makes sense, but because that's what life is. You keep going. You ask for help when you need it. You choose kindness even when it's hard. You let yourself be seen even when it's terrifying. And slowly, quietly, you realize you were never lost. You were just learning how to be found. Our story ends where it began, with a boy, but this time he's not searching, he's home. So here's my question for you. What are you still searching for? And more importantly, what if you already have it? If this video made you think differently, even for a moment, consider subscribing. The ones that don't just entertain, but change how you see yourself. Thanks for watching.